Hola people, welcome back to my channel. You beautiful, loyal, three creatures, you. But for the ones that are new here, hi, my name is Monica De La Ville, tonight at least. And maybe for Halloween's party as well. But you can call me Moni or even Miss Aborted because this mess over here has survived an abortion. But I will tell you about it in another video because we are here today for this extravagant look. That is an interpretation of how I see Cruella De Vil in my eyes and what I believe she should look like in a modern version. So if you're interested how I created this look and how many mistakes I have made and what I've discovered to improve and save you some time if you're planning to create this look, keep on watching. Okay guys, before we start with our tutorial today, let's talk about the things that you're gonna need in order to create this look if you wanted to for Halloween. So here we have Cruella De Vil that she will give us some advices or maybe correct me if I am mistaken. So the first and most important thing that you're gonna need is gonna be some fake fur. I will tell you what you need, darling. You will need one Dalmatian, and then you will need to skin it alive for its fur, and then don't forget to gather its blood. Don't listen to her, guys. You can use a fake fur, you can buy it on the internet. I'm gonna link places that you can buy a small piece of fake fur with some spots that look like Dalmatians. And you can also get the fake blood from the internet as well, or in any Halloween shop these days, as I've mentioned in the previous video as well. You can get a more liquidy blood and more thicker one in order to create better effects. But even if you just go with one type of blood is good enough. The next thing you're gonna need is some kind of skin adhesive, and get a strong one, and at the same time get one that is safe to be used on your skin directly. The next thing you're gonna need is your hair to look like Cruella De Vil. So there are many options these days. You can really buy a really cheap wig, but I opted out for the other solution, which is using hairspray. So I bought black and white hairspray, and after we finish the whole look, we're gonna create the hair as well. I was thinking, I don't know, you already know what I did, but I was thinking just to pull one strand from one side where the white will be, and then split the hair into two different parts, maybe zhuzh it up a little bit to be like crazy and wild, because we want this Cruella to look like the original 1961 cartoony Disney Cruella and not the one from the latest movie, which is the good Cruella, or the Cruella that has excuses why she's acting so crazy. Now, to mimic the look that you have like pieces sewn into your own skin, you will need some kind of a thread or a string. You can use any old ones, because I found some old ones from some necklaces. Or do you remember the time where these chokers were really popular? And this is it, guys. I have the choker, but at the same time I also bought a string from the internet because I wanted to have brown as well. But even if I was not lazy, I could have find more things in my storage. Besides that, the rest of the things are more decorative, and you don't really have to have them, because anything that has black, red, white, and you can wear it, well, definitely reminds people of Cruella. You will look like Cruella De Vil no matter what you're wearing for this type of look if you create it in this type of way. So you don't have to worry so much about the outfit, but because I already have this corset from the previous look and I already planned that I'm gonna use it for the devil and the Cruella De Vil, I have a red corset. So I got red gloves a while ago when I was like going on this like market for fake stuff. So they are Prada. Yes, they are. And I also created this, however it is called, the things like that you're putting your cigarettes in for smoking from the old times. It is called cigarette filter, darling. Okay, so obviously Cruella De Vil helped us. It is called a cigarette filter. So especially if you're an actual smoker and you want to bring this look to life, and wherever you're going to actually smoke using that filter, it will be really cool, according to me at least. And then because I am planning to also create this kind of crazy side of Cruella De Vil and one more original, I also got some white lenses. I usually have white lenses at home, but you don't have to go through that trouble. With that said, let's keep on going because we have so many things to do. So guys, the only thing that I didn't mention that you're gonna need is this glue in order to block your eyebrows. But again, you don't really have to block your eyebrows if you don't want to, and if you don't have enough time. First, you wanna go and run through your eyebrows as many times as possible in every direction. Then you're gonna take a spoolie, and for this part I'm usually using old spoolies that I have. Okay guys, and when you're happy with your smoothness of your eyebrows, take a translucent or setting powder on a puff, and then you're gonna pass through your eyebrows in order to set the glue. And after we do this, we also gonna go on top of them with a concealer to block them as much as possible so they will not be visible through your foundation. So whatever you're applying on top of your eyebrows, please go in the same direction where the hair is going, because I don't want to disturb the hair. We're gonna go on top of it with a high coverage foundation, and in this case I'm gonna go with Juvia's Place Velvety Matte Foundation because I know that this is pretty high coverage. It's lighter than my skin tone. Look how thick that is. Okay, and first I'm gonna apply it all over my face. Woo, yes, it is kind of lighter than at least than my body. So I'm gonna try to drag that down. Okay guys, I'm doing my concealer right now and the rest of my face, and I'll come back for the fun part. Okay guys, I did some contouring and I put some blush on, I set my face, I did the concealer, and when that's done, now let's go into the fun part of this look. So first things first, I'm gonna use a nude lip liner, a really light one, in order to try to match and map where I want these eyebrows to go. Okay, I think this is kind of okay, and I'm gonna take now a black eyeliner and do some eyebrows. I think this one maybe needs a little bit more curve. I don't want them to be exactly the same because I want her to have some expression. Okay guys, and now let me leave the eyebrows just the way they are right now. I'm not really happy with them. I think maybe for my main look I will not block both of the eyebrows. Maybe I'll just gonna block one of them, and one of them I'm just gonna leave it regular, which is what my original plan was. Now I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna do the makeup look for one of the eyes and see how well I feel about it. Like with the previous video, I'm gonna use Morphe and James Charles palette, because here there are all the colors that I need, which is some browns, some greens, but you can go ahead and use whatever you have at home. So I'm gonna take one blending brush. This is P15 from Wet n Wild, and I'm gonna go just in a brown color here, and I'm gonna put this in the crease of Cruella's eyebrow. Okay, and I'm gonna take the black one on a small blending brush. I'm gonna use the Real Techniques one and gonna start creating that circular shape that Cruella has. So now I'm gonna take a smaller blending brush. This is P10, actually it's a pencil brush from Wet n Wild, and I'm gonna take the darkest green that is in this palette. I'm gonna start putting this green between the brown and the black. Again, tapping motions. I don't wanna disturb the eyebrow and ruin my hard work. Okay guys, I'm gonna stop right here because I'm afraid to disturb the eyebrow more. So what I'm gonna do right now is I'm gonna take a flat brush in order to apply some concealer and cut the crease. Okay, I'm not really happy with the shape of it, but it's close enough, so I'm just gonna take a light green shade I can go with this one, but I know from experience that this green is not as light as I wanted it to be. So I'm just gonna go in my Makeup Forever green, really light green shimmer, and I am going to apply it all over, like everywhere. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take one of the patches that I already tested on my shoulder. I really wanted to see how good or how it will work with me applying the skin adhesive. Should I do it directly on my skin? So for my eyes though, I don't know what should I do. Should I do the same thing? Let me put a little bit of skin adhesive on this area because I know that the patch will go somewhere over here. So I think the glue is pretty dry already, so let me try to apply this. Okay guys, and I'm gonna do a liner on both of my eyes. I'll be back and then we're gonna do some other detail work. Okay guys, now I did the liner. I'm gonna take more of that green, dark green, and place it under my eye, and I'm gonna do the same thing on the other side as well. So in that way we're gonna tie these looks. And also I think I'm gonna use that light green, the shimmer one, in my inner corner on this side. The last thing that I'm gonna do before we go with the patches and shading and everything else from the fun part is I'm gonna apply red lipstick and maybe a red lip liner. I'm definitely gonna use the Fenty one because this shade is amazing. It's called Uncensored. Okay, red lipstick is on, and now guys, let's go ahead and put all these patches. So I have different sizes, shapes, and forms of these fur patches. I'm just gonna go ahead and apply them all over my chest in random areas, maybe a little bit on my neck and a little bit on my arms because my arms are fat and floppy. Let me first apply the first one on camera so I can show you how I did it, but basically it's in the same way like I did this one over here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna apply skin adhesive here and there. I don't think it's gonna be necessary to put the glue everywhere because these pieces of material, they're not too heavy. So you see here where the piece of material is missing some glue, I'm just gonna add some more and then just go like this, and I think that will be it. Okay guys, I finished applying all these patches. I didn't want to waste your time. The only thing else that I did was I applied some highlighter. I put my eyelens in this eye, even though I'm thinking now maybe I should have done it in the other, maybe I can do it in both, but I think it's making the look eerie. I also applied my falsies, I did some mascara, and now finally let's do the fun part guys. So I'm just gonna go ahead and I'm gonna take a pencil brush. This is S5 from Kaleidos. This is what I used last time in the previous video, and I'm just gonna go and alternate between different kinds of browns in this palette. So I'm just gonna take a little bit of brown. I'm gonna leave maybe half of a centimeter off, and I'm gonna go around these patches here and there. So this is supposed to create shading so the patches will look more realistic. So I'm gonna go quickly around each of them. Okay guys, and now I am going to go ahead and take the string that we have and then cut little pieces, maybe this big. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a piece of that leather string and I'm gonna twist it a little bit so it will have like this curve. And after I twist it, I'm gonna dip both of the sides into some skin adhesive, something like this, and then I will apply like 333 of these in the same manner. Okay guys, I finally have placed all these tiny little pieces of leather, And now I see the light of the tunnel. I see the light. Let's play with some blood. Just like in the previous video, I'm gonna take the liquid blood and then place it in any kind of pan or whatever you have, where you can just spill some blood, and then we will go everywhere, all over or around the patches where they are, to give some dimension. So I'm just gonna go around and in between areas here and there. And now doing this makes me think that maybe it would have been a better idea if I first applied the blood and then I went with the leather patches. Okay guys, and now let's go with the thicker blood and let's add more dimension to this look. I'm just gonna place the blood in the same container but on the opposite side. And if you can see my table, it's a genuine mess, guys. Like, it's never been this bad before. And I am really known for creating a lot of mess, but this is on another level. So have in mind that you will have to clean after creating this look for maybe a week. So with this thicker blood, we just want to add details, so we're not gonna place it around the patches just like we did with the liquid blood. We're gonna add this blood into some areas, and again, have in mind where you're placing it. You need to be strategic because like this will run down. Okay, and the final thing that you can do is just put some blood on the patches. I think with a finger is more realistic. For the white hairspray, so I am planning on doing this trend only white. Don't judge me, guys. I left my hair to be greasy on purpose because I knew that I'm gonna do this. So I'm planning to do all of this part black, and I'm gonna do that in the bathroom because I don't want to ruin the sofa behind me. But basically you just hairspray on top from far away. Usually do this in the bathroom or in the shower because you can wash that easily, not near a place where you can stain important things like sofa. They're not easily washable. And then just spray little by little, don't spray too much, and spray from far. Then you can wait a little bit to dry, then do it again. Okay, and while this is drying, I'm gonna go in the bathroom and do the black one, and I'll be back in a second. I realized that my hairspray wasn't white, it is silver, but it still kind of looks like it's white. So this is the finished look, guys. Can you believe it? We finally have made it. It's been a roller coaster for me today because it took me a forever and a day to create this look because I was not obviously completely prepared, and I will tell you in a second why. So what can you do to make this easier for you and simpler? First things first, if you decide to create this look, make sure to cut out and prepare the pieces of the Dalmatians in advance, because it took me a while for me to draw them and cut them out. I did all of that before I started creating this look, so that was a chore. Another thing, you can also prepare the tiny little pieces of leather and cut them, and then maybe even push them with your fingers to get that natural half of, or more like a moon shape, because otherwise the leather will be too flat. So somewhere you can see it's just like straight, and it doesn't give that illusion that well. In some places I managed to do that, and I also figured out a way how can you put all of these pieces without actually gluing them piece by piece. So what you can do is just like find one area, apply of the skin adhesive, wait for a second for it to dry, and then apply 4 or 5 of them in a row. And maybe I should have done this eyebrow a little bit higher, But as you can see, I don't have that much area on my forehead to go higher than this. And that's it, guys. That is it for today's video. If you like this video or like videos with a similar content like this one, where I'm challenging myself to try new and interesting styles of makeup, like and subscribe. It is for free, and you will see more of this mess over here. Until next time, toodaloo.